Hello, David4040 here with another ship's roster review, and today I am taking a look at Exile's ships. Um, so Exile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest your starting fleet and your reinforcements, and then go over some things you can do in the future and some things you currently need to do to improve your ship's characters if you're wanting to do better in fleet. So let's go down to your capital ship. Right now you have all three of your big capital ships all seem to be about the same position, with Home 1, Chimera, and Executrix. Executrix is 5 stars, and Chimera and Home 1 are both 6 stars. I'm going to say you need to go with Chimera. One thing is, this is going to encourage you to gear Grand Admiral Thrawn, who is one of the best characters in the game. There's no reason not to go and gear this character. He's going to be useful in squad arena. He's useful in every single inch of the game. So gearing him up is not going to hurt. It may take a little while, but it will be well worth it, and it's a character I personally love. On top of that, Chimera can arguably be one of the best two capital ships, either Chimera or Executrix. Um, so go after and uh, work on gearing up Thrawn for the Chimera. On top of that, you do need to 6-star your home one so that you can eventually get a 7-star Chimera. What you have to have for that is both the Phantom Ghost 7-star, which you do, and 3 other Rebel ships 7-star. You have Wedge and Big, so that's good. But you need to find another Rebel ship to 7-star, and you have Cassian's U-Wing 7-star, and it doesn't look like you have Biston's U-Wing at all. Both Biston's and Cassian's U-Wing are both good options for finishing the event. I believe I did it with Cassian's U-Wing 7-star. If you're wanting to eventually get that 7-star Chimera, you should probably put a little bit of work into Cassian's U-Wing. Level it up to 85, level up the characters to 85. I mean, don't put too much work into them. Just get the characters like Gear 7, the ship up to level 85, the characters up to level 85, and maybe gear up their abilities a little bit as well. But again, should not be an immediate focus, just more once you're getting close to a 7-star home one. Work on getting the characters up for Cassian's U-Wing and whatnot so that you're able to easily complete the 7-star home one event, because that's what you're going to want. You're going to want the 7-star Chimera if you're using it in your fleet. Now, next thing are your 3 starting ships. I'm going to suggest that you use Big's X-Wing, the TIE Advanced, and the Ghost. And your strategy here is going to use the Ghost to stealth the TIE Advance so that the enemy is forced to target Big's X-Wing. TIE Advance does lots of damage, and on top of that you have a Gear 12 Vader, so you want to be using your TIE Advance. On top of this, for reinforcements, you currently can only use 3 since you don't have a 7-star ship. You're going to want to use Phantom, and you probably should be using your Wedge currently, though you don't want to look at using Wedge long term, but based on where you have them, you want to use Wedge and your Slave 1. However, your Slave 1's not in the best position at the moment, so I suggest either going with Geonosian Soldier or Millennium Falcon until you get the Slave 1 up a little bit. Millennium Falcon's not in a great position either, so you might want to go with Geonosian Starfighter. Now, let's take a look at your starting ships real quick first. The main thing I see here that you need to do is you need to gear up your 3 Phoenix characters on the Ghost, and you need to gear up Biggs at least gear 11 if you're able to. And if you can put up their abilities to max, I mean, that's always great. Again, though, that can be hard to do. And like right, this will be useful in other cases, but at the moment, reinforcement ability won't be useful on. So what you want to do is you then want to look at your reinforcements and determine what's going to be useful. Phantom 2, it has a wonderful reinforcement ability where if it's maxed out, it reduces your capital ship's cooldown by 1 for calling reinforcements, which means you can immediately call another ally on the next turn, which means you're starting to overload the field with ships. So first thing you need to do is you need to put all energy into maxing out the covert strike reinforcement ability. Any reinforcement ability match you get, go into covert strike here. You do have a gear 11 Ezra, which is excellent, and a gear 10 Chopper. That's pretty good too. If you're able to get Chopper up to gear 11, I suggest it. However, your Sabine Rin is quite low, and this is going to decrease the damage output on your ship. Top of that, you have no mods on the character. For these characters, you want to put on just some trash gear level 15 5 dot mods. So these mods here, you level up to 5 dot. The reason is these are going to increase the overall stats for your characters just slightly, and it can make a difference in damage and stuff like that. So it matters, and if it's enough mods, it even makes a difference in speed. It's not, the stats on the mods don't matter. Overall, it's just going to increase the character's power. It's like back in the day before mods were even the game for ships. I mean, for characters, if you just leveled up the character, its overall stats were basically going up and had specified stats. Ships is that exact way right now. The more energy you put into it, the more the overall stats for the ship are going up. So you want to make sure on all your ship's characters that you have level 15 5 dot mods, just because it's going to help their overall stats. And it makes a difference. On top of that, it increases your galactic power for things like territory battles and territory wars. Now, the next thing I was saying is Slave 1 here. Obviously, Slave 1s are really slow farm. You should be farming it to 7-star, but it's going to take a while. However, in the meantime, you need to gear up Boba Fett, and you need to level up its abilities, including its reinforcement ability. Any ships you're using on reinforcement are going to be ones that it's worth putting the reinforcement abilities into, which is probably why you have the reinforcement abilities on Ghost, because it's worthwhile. Slave 1 is a great overall reinforcement, which is another reason why I suggest him. He will come in and taunt, which is nice. Even though he's not a tank, he's going to take a bit of damage and deal out a bit of damage. If you want something in the short term to use, level 85 the Falcon, and it will probably serve well since you have both Finn and Rey well geared. But once you get Boba well geared, put him in over the Falcon. That was the reason I was suggesting Geo earlier. He's just well geared at the moment for you, which makes him a decent reinforcement to bring in. But in the long run, you want to be using Slave 1. And it's already level 85. The character is level 85. You just need to put in a 5 dot level 15 mod in the aerospace, and you need to level up the abilities on the ship. So, again, for your starting fleet, you want to use TIE Advance, Biggs, and Ghost. And then you want Phantom, Wedge, and Slave 1 for your reinforcements. Now, I was saying you don't want Wedge long term as a reinforcement because he's not great. And there's plenty of other great reinforcements out there. One thing you'd want to look at as a reinforcement is a tank that taunts, because it's great to have a taunting tank. What are the two best taunting tanks in the game outside of Biggs? Sunfact and Houndstooth. However, Houndstooth is really hard to farm, and you'd have to farm Bosk as well. Both great characters if you want to go after them. Don't know if it's worth it for you, but look, you got a 7-star Sun Fact. You're already leveling up the ship. If you just put some gear into him, level up the character and the ship, you'll have another great reinforcement. Scimitar makes another good all-around reinforcement. Cassian Jewwing, again, a great all-around reinforcement. I personally like First Order TIE Fighter. That's just a preference of mine, and you do need him, First Order TIE Pilot, in order to get BB-8 if you don't already have BB-8. And then in a really long term for ships, it's worth it to get the Geonosians. You're not at the point where you should be going after Geonosians. I would imagine. Fortunately, you do already have a high level Geonosian soldier. If you do decide to go after the Geonosians and gear them up, they are a great all around fleet. If you get the Houndstooth, it makes them even better. But yeah, I think currently at the moment you just need to focus on getting up should be your current fleet. Level up the ability on Phantom 2. You will be definitely happy on that. On top of that, you want to be aware of the ability maximum impact here, which you have all the way leveled, which means you know exactly what you're doing. Because it does massive damage. However, by gearing up Sabine, you can be pumping even more damage into that. So that is well worth it. And if you're able to gear up Chopper even more as well, that helps. But you're holding back the Phantom by not having Sabine geared. I gave you a suggestion of a video I made earlier about the making of ships. If you haven't already watched it, go ahead and watch it. I hopefully helped you out there, and if it didn't, give me more questions and I'll try my best to answer it, because it can be confusing. Not many people realize ships, but I do think ships is ultimately the more free to play arena. But I think that's about all I have for you, Exile. I hope the suggestion I made to you helps. If you get to the point where you need to update your fleet arena again, or you don't know what you're doing, you need help for more direction, I'll gladly come in and make another roster review for you. So hope this helps. Talk to you later. Bye.